This is finished. That's finished. And in there, there's no bloody grout.
Yep, nice and square. Lazy painters. Check out the lazy painters, mate. Check it out, already cracking.
The practices I'm seeing in this country for builds in Australia is absolutely atrocious.
Currently in the country, there's a housing shortage, and basically we have so many people in this country at the moment who obviously need a roof over their head and a place to live and call home. Now, the issue that we're having at the moment is we aren't having houses built at the rate that we are having people come into the country. And it's been disastrous. It's really put a strain on our housing supply, and it's basically meant the cost of rent, the cost of buying a house in general is very high and seems to be somehow still climbing even higher. What I have noticed lately is some of the poor workmanship that has been going on behind the scenes of these builders, and it's really devastating to hear about stories where individuals have basically spent their whole life savings to get a house built for them just to have it be non-compliant and not even be able to live in it because it's not safe enough, or it doesn't meet the standards that it needs to. We are going to watch some videos I've come across where this issue arises.
These are the worst units in Sydney. I'm actually tiling upstairs. I'll let you have a look just at the front door. Let's go. I showed you this the other day, so they're trying to find where the leak is. This is finished. That's finished. And in there, there's no bloody grout. Let's go to the other bathroom, I'll show you this. And this shit is plastic. Okay, as we come into this bathroom here, these guys, look at the workmanship. It's just fucking garbage. Like, you know, everything is garbage. Why do people even just waste their money?
It's just so devastating that people are spending so much money on that. And I know people are like, oh, but that's pretty like nitpicky to pick up that. But you know what? I'd hate to see what other things are going on that I wouldn't be able to see, because I'm not an inspector and I'm not qualified to look for these things. But I would be interested to see what an inspector would have to say about the build as well, because I watched this other individual on TikTok and he also does YouTube. He is an inspector and he's so good at what he does. I'll actually share a clip of a video that he has done.
If you're the homeowner watching this, don't settle, man. Settlement is ready. Let's settle, please. Let's settle. And how the hell am I gonna fit this in, mate? Quick, settle. Chuck all the rubbish in the garage. Quick, boys. Don't worry about it, mate. Just cover it up. Oh, yeah, don't worry about the aggy drain, mate. Just let it water the garden, mate. Check it out. Retaining wall. All the soils collapsing into here. Look at this. Settlement is ready. Settlement is ready. Settlement is ready. Please remove your Adidas shoes. Oh, I'm all right. Let's go. Let me show you why this is so far one of the worst settlement inspections that we've done. Check it out. Have a look at this. Yeah. What the hell is this, mate? Come on, man. You want to sell the property like this? This is so bad. Have a look at this wall. Yep, 20 mil out. Even this little fly gave up. Yep, nice and square. Lazy painters. Check out the lazy painters, mate. Check it out, already cracking. Look at this painter, mate. Have a look at this window. The silicon's already coming out. Oh, don't worry about the screws, mate. Just leave them. Paint, mate. Paint. Come on, we gotta settle. Hurry up. Don't worry about painting, mate. Just rip out the tape, mate. Rip it out. Rip it out and let's settle this ASAP. Don't worry about the doors, mate. Don't worry. Don't worry about the air cons. Leave the doors. I don't care. Just leave them, mate. By the way, this is not compliant. You gotta rip the whole wall out, mate. Non-compliant box cutter. Check out the nice patch. Have a look at the slab. How did the building surveyor miss this, mate? Honeycombing. How did the building surveyor miss the weep holes are embedded into the garden? So this is the home. This is the home that is ready for settlement. Like for real, mate. Look at this, man. Take out the rubbish. Go on the roof and have a look. What's going on? None of the air cons are installed. Incorrect fall on the cappings. Fixed box gutter is non-compliant. Box gutter incorporating a leer gutter. Has to discharge to a sump or a rain head. Non-compliant. And also, no support. Non-compliant spreader, not sealed. Performance solution is required. I don't know if they have one, but these slots look a little small. Also, it's supposed to be Dulux system here. They've installed master wall and they haven't adhered to the manufacturer specification. You can't put an XC like that. It has to be a channel, a starter channel. So that's not compliant. So just be careful when you're about to settle a home or buying a home. You can see what happens. All these things here are incomplete. So then you're gonna end up chasing the builder, which is a massive headache. So let me know in the comments if you'll settle to this.
Honestly, I think what he does is amazing. I love that he knows his ish, and it's really important that we have people like that in our corner, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be spending so much money of your hard-earned money on something as big as a house loan, one of the biggest purchases you will make in your life, I would expect it to be of standard and meet requirements. Like, that's the bare minimum. And it's really sad to see that unfortunately some people are getting taken advantage of, and it's shit.
It's been another horror week in the building industry in Australia, with more companies going down faster than the last snag at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Let's take a look. Starting in South Australia, where extraordinary constructions took extraordinary to mean extraordinarily broke. 40 homeowners left with half-built homes and full-blown anxiety attacks. The director, though, Tony Xanthopoulos, didn't go quietly either. He decided the best way to respond to his clients' complaints was an unhinged email rant full of expletives. I understand being part of a company collapse must be pretty horrific and pretty stressful, but at least talk to the customers and at least empathise with their situation. Let's have a look at the rest of them. Metricon swooping in like a corporate SES crew to finish the job. Oh, fuck me, Metricon. Hope they bought gloves. They're going to need them. Next stop, though, Queensland. MC Coastal Constructions went into liquidation. 436K in debt while the directors have vanished like a tradie at 3:01 p.m. on a Friday arvo. Matthew Curry hasn't returned a single call to his liquidator, which is impressive considering how many missed calls he probably has from subcontractors and angry customers at this stage. He's now banned from holding a license until 2027, and might be a good time to pick up a new trade, maybe ghost riding. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more cooked, though, Ferretti International, Ottawa, part of Gupta's still empire, has gone under. That's another 150 jobs gone, just like that. Steel fabrication's pretty hard to fake, but collapsing the economy, now that's a well-oiled machine. Nationally, this last 12 months, we've seen over 2,600 construction companies gone bust. That's a 23% increase on the year before. If you're in Victoria, though, brace yourself. You've seen a 74% increase in construction company collapses this year compared to last year. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Building approvals for unit and apartment complexes were down 20% last month, and for standalone dwellings, they were down 7%. The news just keeps getting worse and worse. Now, we're going to build 1.2 million homes in 5 years.
Dreaming.
We wonder why we aren't meeting that target of building all those homes, because who's building them? When companies are collapsing and we don't and aren't having that same amount of companies start up again, what are we going to do? This is the question that I think everyone is thinking at the moment, is how are we going to fix this? Because we have the huge target of building all these homes, and I think we're already quite behind in that target as well, mind you. I personally, watching all these videos, would never go off plan. I actually wouldn't want a house built in this current state, because I'm worried that if I did that, would I get a shoddy house? And then the stress that comes with that, like, I couldn't even imagine going through that. that has put me off so much. And I understand not every builder is like that, but unfortunately, a lot of builders have been like that, and it's shit. You're paying so much money to have them build their place, they're making all these promises, and they don't deliver on them. And you're stuck with a half-built, shit, unsafe house that you can't live in. It's bullshit. Hi, my name is Jen. This is Diary of Jen. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to join the fam. We would love to have you here. And we are so close to our first goal, which is 500 subs. I can't thank you enough for your support. It truly means so much to me.
So this is a warning for all new first home Australian buyers going into the market. If you're thinking of buying a house in the Australian market right now, and the house has been built in the last 5 to 8 years, like brand new build, please get a safety inspector to come in and inspect the building, at least 2, third party away from the builder. Because the practices I'm seeing in this country for builds in Australia is absolutely atrocious. I've never seen houses being built so fast, so quickly, and so dangerously. I'm talking foundations not laid properly and roofs not being structured properly for shingles and weights and all that kinds of stuff. So many problems, so many defects, things that are so simple that are being ignored or they're being pushed aside just so they can fly the houses through, because we have such a high demand for housing at the moment that we are building houses so quickly and ignoring so many safety defects that literally a house could collapse on you overnight if it's not built properly. And we're running into these problems, and people are coming into this market not knowing and just buying a home, assuming that people have done their homework. Do not assume. This industry is absolutely flooded with bad practices at the moment, and I have no idea why these trades are being allowed to build houses and everyone's getting accredited for these absolutely atrocious practices, and they're still flying houses out the door. They're still selling as fast as they can make them. It's disgusting, and you need to do your homework. This is a warning for anyone going into the market. You need to go in, at least 2 inspectors to inspect the house, third party accredited safety inspectors that know their work well, and they know when they see something that's a big problem. And if a builder doesn't let you, do not touch that house. There is a reason that they won't let inspectors come in as a third party. They don't want people to know that this house is not safe. So please do your due diligence. Do not buy a house that has not been inspected by your personal safety inspector. You need to be best friends with that guy. Make sure that he is looking after you, and you do the same, because there are houses out there now that are so dangerous that in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be an epidemic of housing crises that will literally bankrupt trades because they have done the most impossibly terrible practicings I've ever seen. Just things that will literally bring a house down with a breeze if something goes wrong. It's absolutely disgusting, and you need to get your house inspected before buying. Do not assume that the house is safe. Do not spend the amount of money that you're buying in this market is so expensive, and so much time, a 30-year mortgage on a house that literally collapsed in 5, and then you're left with nothing. Make sure you get it inspected by multiple inspectors and get it safety checked. And if you can't do that because the builder won't let you, do not touch that house, and warn everyone else to not touch it. Do not let these building companies get away with selling absolute trash to people.
I couldn't agree more. I personally would never purchase a home without having an inspector come and look at it, because there's things that I would just miss. They are qualified, they know what they're talking about and know what to look for, and I'm not mucking around with my money, okay? Like, this is such an important, if you ever choose to, financial take on. So we really do need to make sure that we are doing our due diligence, because this is such a big financial decision, and it's exciting at the same time.
Have a look at this, the water, the mould, it is just an absolute shocker.
Safety edges just simply ignored everywhere. This site is an absolute heap of danger from the moment you walk in. It's covered in mould, light fittings falling off the ceilings.
We will be holding people who are responsible for this sort of construction totally responsible.
That was New South Wales Building Commissioner David Chandler, and we're inspecting a Western Sydney apartment block with him to see if workers have done their job properly. So David, when you're out on these sites, what are you looking for?
We're looking for signs of poor quality workmanship. So here's an example of a roof plumber who's done roof flashings that are simply, that's not an appropriate roof flashing. Have a look at the way that the caulking, which is the patch-up job, so this is obviously leaking at one stage, and so they've come back and put more mastic on. But what they don't realise, that after you've had a summer, the heat, this stuff shrinks and cracks.
The Commissioner first visited this building 6 months ago and found water leaking through the concrete walls and flooding the basement. He's returned to see what's been fixed, but has found more problems with the property. David Chandler has tens of thousands of photos of shoddy workmanship on his phone from across the state. A recent state government strata survey revealed more than half of apartment buildings registered since 2016 have at least one serious defect. The Building Commission was established last month and is tasked with turning the industry around. And for everyday Australians who are looking to buy a new place or move into a new home, what advice can you give them?
Well, most developers put the case that they've been around for 3 or 4 years and they should be trusted. My view is go and have a look and see what they've built in the last 3 or 4 years, check out whether they've got an ICERT rating, and ask them whether they're proposing to get a 10-year warranty insurance.
Do your homework.
Do your homework.
You know, it is really disappointing though that we have to do our homework because we're getting taken advantage of and it's a joke. I don't know how these companies are allowed to get away with things like this, and doesn't feel like sometimes there's proper repercussions for their actions. It seems like some of the time the owners of these properties unfortunately take the hit and they try so hard to, get it rectified or have some sort of resolution, which it just doesn't seem like it gets to that point at times, which is so devastating. I have seen the inspector that I watch on YouTube and TikTok literally in it was some sort of, I guess maybe TNC from the builder, but basically it said that inspector, that specific inspector, could not go to this house and inspect it. Isn't that crazy? I don't even know if that's a thing, but that is insane.
I've been banned, guys, from inspecting this home that is currently for sale. It's on realestate.com. It's for sale. And check out what the clause states in the contract of sale. I've never seen this before. Clause 10. Building inspection reports from site inspections Zahir Khalil will not be acceptable prior or after the sale.
Comment below. Let me know what you think or if you've heard of similar situations. I know this was based around Australia, but I definitely have seen these similar issues in other countries such as America, probably in the UK. It probably happens everywhere, to be honest. It's definitely not just in Australia, but I have seen it so much because I live in this country, and I just wanted to highlight it because it is so, so disgusting and just feels like they're definitely taking advantage of the system at the moment because there isn't really proper repercussions for it, or it doesn't feel like that anyway. They're definitely right. We do need to be doing our homework because we need to be the ones looking after ourselves and having our own back, because some of these builders are disgusting and the work that they do is far from what it should be. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate having your support. If you did want to join the fam, we'd love to have you here. If you're already in the fam, thank you so much. I really do appreciate having you here and just really supporting me. I couldn't be any more thankful. I hope to see you next time. Have an amazing rest of your day or night.